Okay. It is session number 37. Okay, I'll take that silence as thunderous approval.
I'm looking, so yeah, I guess.
It's correct enough.
I mean, Dex already has it labeled episode 37, but okay.
Oh, what label do I? Oh, on Twitch. I haven't looked.
Yeah, on Twitch. I was just pulling it up.
Makes sense. Well, yeah, welcome again, everyone. Let's start with the recap.
Ninja robots? Dead people? Alien women? Oh my. Quite a lot has happened in the city over the last 500 years, I guess. I'm not convinced that the aliens that live here are our allies. They have dumb rules, and they refuse the company of our good friend Boris. That's 2 points against them within a few minutes. The third being that Nero doesn't trust them either. Before we could really get anything useful from them, we had to leave because of radiation poisoning. On our long ride home, Saoirse got embarrassed about her relationship with Cade, and we got to snack while enjoying the antelopes grazing and checking out cool nature stuff. Finn.
All right.
Woo! Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good good summary. Checking out other cool nature stuff.
In another page in his journal, which we don't have to get into, there was about a 5-minute rant about Saoirse and Kate's relationship, but that can be for the book later.
Oh, I'm dying. I am dying for this journal entry.
Oh boy, yeah, that
Also, side note, I listened to that whole thing all over again, and I'm a little bitter at nobody telling me exactly how terrible my Irish accent is, but that's fine.
No, it's great though.
All
oh
right,
yeah.
cool,
You don't you
Yeah,
don't
I
even
don't
need to
think I
worry.
noticed.
cool.
It's such a crazy phenomenon that listening but to your own voice, like almost literally anything, it just makes you cringe. Like I've tried. I can barely make myself listen to the session streams. Like I'll go back. Let me listen to the end and try to remember exactly, what I said in some aspect. And after like 10 seconds, I'm like, oh my goodness, come on, just spit it out. I cannot stand, like, I would need to listen to myself on 1.5 speed or something in replay. Oh boy.
That's what I do.
Just selectively speed the GM up.
Yeah, exactly. Need that in real time. I need a little processor enhancement.
No. You're not supposed to agree with him when he's.
Um, well,
Opportunity.
glad to know how you feel.
I'm sorry.
Oh
I
boy.
love you. It was just a joke.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Meanwhile, I'm sure people listen to me talk and are like filled with anxiety, wondering when I'm gonna pass out because I haven't stopped to take a breath. So it's okay. We balance each other out.
Oh my. Hey, just make it up to me by getting me a good Christmas present.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, we had left you guys just having recovered your trail camera and picking through the footage to see what's up with all of that. And I believe we were just waving you guys on back to the Prudence. Is that correct?
Mhm.
All right. So you got back somewhere around midnight, uh, pulled in late to find Boris sitting, waiting for you to get back and drinking some tea. He sleepily welcomes you back to the ship, bids you good night, and wanders off to find his bed. You can all get a good night's rest. and you all recover hit points and 1 system strain. For the
Yay!
night.
Especially after that disastrous resist radiation roll that Cade failed last time.
Wait, how many do we get back?
Your level.
So drop 1 system strain.
Yep. 1
Okay, I
system
think that
strain.
still leaves me at 2.
Sounds about right.
Wow.
Yeah, some of you are.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm at
you're all
4.
you're all at pretty decent numbers right now.
I don't understand what
Considering
my
you don't stop for nothing. You don't understand what?
yeah, I just don't. I haven't been keeping track of what my system strain is for, but it's fine. I know what the permanent strain is. Just don't know what the others are. So it's
Yeah, it's probably left over from a bunch of healing.
yup.
You also sometimes take some for other things. Anyways, yeah, so you can all wake up to another sunny morning on Honoris Corcupiets.
And when you say sunny, you mean like sun trying to kill you?
I was gonna say
The best
waking
kind.
up to a sunrise on this planet is a little bit of a different experience when you know the sun is actively killing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so where to next, or what doing?
Well, I think we had wanted to meet up with Cora, right? Get back over to the plan pages.
Seems
Yeah,
likely.
good point.
There was some talk about doing a what is it? Exchange alien, and that was quickly shot down by our captain.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like it is like talk to Cora and the Queen again.
Yeah, basically wrapping up
From what I'm reading.
loose ends here. I don't know if we were planning on going back to the city after this, but Ethan was wanting to try and patch things over with between the Queen and Cora.
Java would angle for that too. He doesn't want to go back to the city.
Let's see, is that where we are? Yeah, I guess we explored.
Alright, yeah, you guys can go and try to meet with Cora and or the Queen. How do you guys want to go about that?
Oh well, I guess someone was talking with Tom first because I guess still don't know how he feels about all this after his additional soul searching.
Okay. So you guys want to call a little meeting with Tom?
Yeah. I don't think it was audible, but I squeaked a yes.
Oh.
I heard you.
Okay.
All right. Just to, well, let's see. Since we're gonna have a little meeting here, and Boris is staying behind, do you want Boris involved and or Victor Ahmed?
I
Yeah,
think
I
we
guess
should have
team party thing.
All right. We'll call an all hands meeting. Who and I guess suppose Saoirse would probably be the de facto leader of said meeting.
Shoot.
I have to make these chickens a little smaller. Nah, it's
No, I kind of feel like Brother Nick has become the de facto person.
Yeah.
Oh no, responsibility.
Ahmed, yes or no?
Too cramped in here. Kick him out.
Oh,
You do have other rooms on the ship, but I will abide with whatever decision is made. I guess by Brother
yeah,
Nick,
we
since
should
he's the
invite
de facto.
man. Poor guy.
Yeah, we'll let him hide behind Victor and Boris.
I don't know. Would Saoirse even sit that close to Cade after the last discussion?
Kids are coffee.
Yeah, there probably is because it's probably first thing in the morning.
Yeah, she wouldn't care.
There's no whiskey in it this time though.
Oh, good.
No one's
Yeah.
getting drunk and smashed at 9 a.m.
I think Saoirse was the only
Again.
one that didn't get drunk and smashed last time, so I think we're good. But
No, I didn't.
what was I gonna?
What about Bob, guys?
He's still
Victor
chilling in the car.
No, Java dragged
Did
him
it-
in.
I was gonna say
I'm inside, no Bob's left behind.
He's laying in the doorway.
Ben, I'm gonna need you to move him.
I got you.
no. If Saoirse catches wind of that thing being dragged into the meeting room, she will straight up just point the same way he's being dragged from and say, "No."
Oh no.
And I'll look Java dead in the eye.
So the double doors from the engineering room slide open, and Java walks in, pulling Bob by one arm.
I'll own this. Yeah, he did. What are you gonna do, Saoirse?
So she just pointed back the way he came and said no.
Well, sorry, I was
So-
trying to set the scene. So that's what he walks in like, and she sees it, points, and says no.
yeah, she's like sitting in her chair with Cade sitting next to her, who I'm assuming has the pot of coffee. And she's just gotten coffee poured into her cup, and she looks up and sees that, and she's gonna say no. With point
Ahmed's a
back.
member of this crew too.
I don't have any problem with Ahmed being here, but the suit's got to go.
You mean Bob?
I thought he said Ahmed is a member of our crew too.
He did, and then realized you were talking about Bob.
It's a deflection. Move.
She's
No,
gonna look at him and say, "Get your snack suit out of the room."
Java's just gonna drag the suit out and leave with it.
Justice for Bob.
He's gonna sit next to Bob in the hallway and eat snacks.
Okay, if he doesn't come back after a certain amount of time, Saoirse is going to get up and walk out in the hallway and look down at Java, and she's gonna crouch down next to him and just say, "We need you in the room. Bob
Oh.
can stay out here.
Okay.
Thanks."
He's
And
gonna
then
bring his
she'll
snacks.
get up. What did you say?
He's bringing snacks with him though.
That's fine. She
Like-
doesn't care about
Means
there
to bring
being
Bob
snacks.
with him.
Bob is gonna have his like chest sploon open
Oh my
with
word.
just Java's arm reaching out of it with snacks as he
But
follows
to
their
be
shit.
fair,
Not even gonna zip him up. Gonna leave him like that.
Saoirse's just gonna ignore it for now, but she's making a mental note of where to hide it later.
Oh no, I forgot. Okay, we've got a retcon because this is very important.
Uh oh.
Ben,
What?
can you enlighten Cade as to what he finds the night before when he goes to his room?
Oh no.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we do need a quick flashback here.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Uh,
That's
So-
right. He did play that prank on Brother Nick a while ago.
yes, let me check something real quick before okay. So Cade would come back into the room. Let's see. I don't know what his typical bedtime routine would look like, but as he's moving around in there fiddling with his various stuff, he'd find a couple of snack cakes kind of tucked into little inconspicuous spots where he was supposed to accidentally crunch them, either sitting down or putting stuff into his pack or something. And throws him off a little bit. But unfortunately, the one that he does not find as he slides into the medical bed to sleep, he hears a crunch under the blankets and under his head when he puts his head on the pillow.
Oh no.
Smells distinctly the wheat flakes. Or
Oh,
rice
boy.
flakes, I guess.
He had to probably just text Brother Nick a well played.
He'd text back that there's still 10 more.
And we could probably cut away right as Kate sits up in bed like, what?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a notice check from Cade.
Okay. Notice. Wisdom?
With wisdom, yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
3
Yeah, that's
hours
about right.
later. No,
Well,
no, it takes him a
he
good little
literally
while.
came back from a grueling trip. Like,
So-
he's not gonna find them all. He's just gonna eventually just give up and go to bed with the rest of them missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All told, he's found 6 rice cake snacks, including the one that he crunched under his head.
Wow.
Was it wrapped or unwrapped?
Oh, these were unwrapped. They've been
Brutal.
sitting open air in a bucket for, I think, weeks at this point. in Brother Nick's room.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, imagine Brother Nick has a little self-satisfied grin on his face the next morning. He has entered the game quite successfully for the start.
Ooh, does Brother Nick go for coffee? Because Cade would have brought a pot.
Thinking he'd have his usual tea.
Does he have a usual mug?
Out of his Santa Claus bag.
Well, I doubt Cade could have gotten in there without noticing, but another time.
Kate is watching and observing Brother Nick's patterns.
Oh yes.
He's a patient man. All right, so we flash forward again to the meeting, the pot of coffee that is rapidly depleting. Victor, incidentally, took a sip from his mug and then, with a small frown, gave Kate an inquisitive look for setting his mug back down and sitting back.
what? What is going on?
I mean,
Nero looks
Kate would probably just
confused.
look back like, "What?"
He would say, "Hey, did you forget something in the coffee this morning?"
Nope. Coffee's normal.
Hmm. He looks curious, but he waves a hand like he'll worry about it later. So
Why are we all here? Nero's already starting to fidget.
say Boris closes his mouth with a faint click of teeth. Took the words right out of his mouth.
Oh, is Saoirse gonna kick things off, or is Brother Nick leading?
He'll definitely look at Brother Nick.
So yeah, I imagine
She
them
is
both.
not. She has not gotten halfway through her coffee.
They both turn to look at each other at the exact same moment. she, oh man,
She'll just take a sip of her coffee.
Okay, so I'll dive. Saoirse and I thought it wise, given the many revelations of the past few days, to get everyone together and discuss our plans for how we leave things here before we continue on from Ariskor Coupiet. The revelation of this AI in the tower and its as of yet unidentified master, as well as the robot ninjas, as Nero has so aptly named them, are presenting some additional wrinkles in our plan. Not to mention our ongoing attempts to make positive relations with the Gakari.
do we want to suppose that relevant parties have been given at least a highlights of the recent trip?
Yeah, I'm guessing we have filled them in.
Okay. I got the cliff notes,
Got
so
that.
not like the. What do you mean robots? Yeah. Boris will speak up. What do you mean to do about these robots?
So far, the robots seem to leave well enough alone, as long as no one goes near the large forum and the remains of the city. It's probably too optimistic to hope they will stay that way forever. Hopefully, we can continue to talk with them and work out some kind of agreement. Frankly, of the three parties we've talked to over the past few days, the ninja robots seem to be the most reasonable.
Hmm.
Except they won't let anybody in except people they like.
We're still catching them up with the times. Hoping there may be some way we can convince them that over the past several hundred years, the mandate is no longer around, and maybe then they'll be more accommodating. At least for now, if need be, we can give them a wide berth, and they shouldn't be too much of an issue.
How many did we end up seeing, Ben?
Of the robots at the city center.
Mhm.
I believe there were 5 that you saw.
There's only 5 of them.
They are rather large and possessing AI and who knows what kind of weapons for being pre-tech mandate guard bots. A little hesitant to test what firepower they may have. And I'd rather not burn that bridge until we have to.
Fidget, fidget.
Boris and Victor are both looking thoughtful. Ahmed just keeping quiet. Do any of the other crew have comments or opinions about any of that?
Java slurps loudly on his mug and mumbles something about the robots. General disdain.
It'll probably say, it's possible that if we can convince the robots that the Terran mandate has truly fallen, that they could potentially ally with us or work with us.
Now you said they respected your Tabukan tattoo thing, right?
Yes. Apparently, it is a sign of citizenship for them.
So does that mean they'd listen? Well, depending on what we convince them, would they listen to other Tabukans too?
Potentially.
Could
Hmm.
we make someone else Tabukan?
No.
Why not? It's just a tattoo.
No, it's not just a tattoo arrow. It's encoded with specific information that the robots could verify. I can't even reproduce that right now.
So get the information.
And it provided me a sample of that.
Saoirse's gonna reach over and poke Cade's shoulder.
What?
Is that something you have to be born on Tabuk to get, or is it something that someone marrying in could get?
I don't remember if we ever defined if marrying in would get that sort of thing or if it was birth only. Um,
Oh, wrong channel.
Right. Cade would know that it's only done to very young children who are born into the right families.
That's sus.
okay.
Anyway, continue.
So Cade
That
will say that
that feels
no,
yucky.
it's only bestowed to certain children of the highest families at early age.
But someone has to know how to do that.
Yes, but I don't know who they are. It happens so young, I wouldn't know.
An intriguing possibility to consider when we get back to Tabuk. Although I think that presents another problem. Any sufficiently noble Tabukan that might show up to Riskor Kupiets could pose a problem in what they might be able to convince the robots to do.
They would have to be a descendant of one of the house that held command, if I'm guessing correctly.
So some Tabukans could come here and command the robots.
No, well, some of them, but
I think they'd run into the same problem that we did, although a sufficiently clever or technologically sophisticated member of the Tabukan nobility or military might be able to figure out how to convince them where we did not. We'll have to make sure we have them well accounted for and protect all this information on Ariskor Kupiets in the meantime.
How long are we going to be here?
My thoughts are as long as we should remain as long as it takes to ensure things will be stable in our absence. I'd hate to leave and return a few days later to find out the Gikari have started a war with the robot ninjas and the AI in the tower. Or vice versa.
Can't keep going out without a suit.
What are our rad stores like at this point?
Your anti-rad stores are sufficient for quite a while. For the lot of you, got about another couple weeks. You've stocked up pretty well.
Yeah,
in
but
case for emergency.
if I remember right, Nero and Cade were the two that failed the check.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nero hasn't said anything to anybody, but um, she's revealing now that she's feeling it. She does look
Yes.
around a little bit nervously at having said that.
Yeah, I'm feeling it too. I wouldn't want to stay around too long.
Saoirse's concerned upon hearing this.
This place is trying to kill us anyway.
Hopefully on our next trip we can develop some additional precautions. Now that we're gaining some better understanding of the radiation on this planet. In the meantime, though, we'll take full advantage of the stored medicines we have and try to get everyone to be more accommodating to the rad suits and us wearing them.
I'm not wearing them because they're
Saoirse's
bulky.
Saoirse's kind of having trouble focusing on the conversation. It looks like she has a really bad headache. She's convinced she needs more coffee.
Nero looks over at Boris. Can you make armor that protects me?
I don't know. I don't know a lot about this radiation yet. Unless, without sitting down and making you a power suit.
Nero's eyes light up.
Which I can't exactly do.
Why not? I'll get you what you need.
Look, kid. I can do a lot of different things. I am no armorer. Can't just up and... He snaps a finger. Pop a suit of armor out of thin air. Or a scrap of metal. Heap of scrap, you know what I mean. Gives her a exasperated look. Anyway. These suits you bought. The best thing I could say, wear.
Oh, did Ben go quiet?
Oh, can you
Yeah,
guys hear me?
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry,
thing.
where...
Best
was
thing
like-
I could say.
Oh,
It was a really
mic-
dramatic time for the mic to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have to stop doing the noise filtering because I think my noise filtering decided that my Boris voice was noise. Thanks, microphone. Let's see. I think he was saying that the best thing he could say would be to keep wearing the rad suits you bought and try to figure out and find out more about this radiation before you go experimenting with other forms of protection.
Nero closes her mouth and looks back around to Brother Nick and Saoirse.
I did try to do some research before we left on if there were advanced radiation blocking implants on Urala, but according to some of their people, they would have been in the capital and some of the clinics there, if there were any at all, and under a heavy guard probably.
Mm.
Ironically, it might be easier to buy it from Tabuk.
right, so
Saoirse's gonna snap at Nero.
Oh no.
oh boy.
Please stop playing with the cup holder. If you could find something quieter to hyperfixate on for just the rest of this meeting, you can go pound a ball on whatever surface you want. Just please stop messing with the cup holders.
Nero sits back and crosses her arms.
Saoirse would normally feel bad about that, but she's too frustrated by her own headache. And she's just excited that the clicking noise has stopped. So that's one less noise she has to deal with right now.
All right. Let's see then. Hmm. Tom sends a telepathic message to everyone in the room. Are we going to tell Cora about what you found in the city yesterday?
We should definitely tell her about the mean robots. I'm not a
Yes,
fan
we
of letting
should.
people stumble into killer ninja robots unaware.
Mhm.
And if nobody says anything to that, he's probably, or maybe we just don't.
Saoirse's going to ask Tom out loud what he thinks is the wisest to do in that situation.
It is difficult to say. Warning them of the danger of the city, I believe, would be wise. But I can't say whether she or the Queen might see some way to profit by exploring that city further.
So long as she stays away from the robots, it should be fine. Those robots pose a significant threat. They have survived 400 years without support.
Have we revealed to her that Kadir is a Tabukan?
Have we made it clear to the Queen?
No, she puts down her coffee mug and like rubs the sides of her head, still trying to like think clearly. Cora, not the Queen. I don't feel like having that conversation with her. I meant Cora.
She doesn't know. And I would probably prefer her not to know unless she's going to be out of arm's reach. Just in case.
Saoirse's going to look over at Tom and say, aloud again, obviously, Tom, you've gotten to know Kadir yourself, and you've expressed that you find him to be trustworthy, despite his lineage. However, I'm not sure Cora would be as understanding as you've been. Do you agree, or do you feel it wouldn't be a barrier? I just feel telling her the entire story would lead to some, God, what's the word? It'd be messy, or just make it more difficult. Complications, that's the word.
Hmm.
If you're talking, Gun, I can't hear you.
No, sorry, thinking.
Okay.
Tom Tom replies, I'm afraid my advice may be suspect. I have not handled relations with them well in the past. I trust your judgment. He looks at Saoirse, um, and she hears in her head, just herself, "Are you well? You seem unusually off this morning."
She's gonna think back that it's just a headache.
You should take some medicine for that.
And
Would you
she'll
like?
think back. I plan to as soon as we're out at the meeting.
Mm, very well.
And we'll look at Saoirse holding out the mug and say, "Are you sure that's 3 really quick? Keep it up like that. Might give you a headache."
Uh, she doesn't really. She looks a little surprised that she's already finished her second mug. Um, she doesn't really know how to explain that she normally wakes up with a headache and that coffee usually takes care of it. But
Hmm.
so she's a little surprised that she still has a headache at this point. She's gonna get up and put her mug down and just kind of sort of half nod, half bow to Tom, and then turn to and brother Nick, and turn to the rest of the crew and do the same, and just say, "Excuse me, think I need to take something for my headache, and I'll be back in a moment." And she'll go ahead and excuse herself. So she's gonna exit out
I
this way.
I think Kay's gonna follow her on that one, just like with a slightly suspicious expression. He'll catch up to her on the way and say, "Is it just a headache, or should we maybe run a brief scan with some of the medical equipment just in case?"
Um, I think she's feeling like she's having trouble really thinking through what he's saying, and she's looking at him, and he can kind of see in her eyes that she hasn't quite understood what he's saying.
At that point, he's just gonna gently grab her arm and say, uh, "Come on, let's get you a painkiller," and like take her directly in, hit the cabinet, get maybe one of the middle ones, like we might do, like not just aspirin or something. Like,
Yeah, a little bit stronger
go up a
dose.
little higher and like, "Here, take this," and say, grab like the hand scanner. Like he's not gonna be able to read the results from like the med kit scanner, and he's gonna say, "While you take that, just hold still for a minute and let's just see, just in case." And hold that scanner up so at least he can record it and run it through the medical. I'm assuming like the med bay has a computer or the bed does that can
Mhm.
analyze.
Yeah, it does. It has some basic diagnostic function.
Yeah. So he'll do that first.
Okay, yeah, and he'll get back a like a temperature, leukocytes, no, heart rate, normal, brain activity, slightly elevated, but within normal. Mhm. Caffeine levels, abnormal.
Of course.
He
Um,
give me a let me think here. Oh, I'm trying to think what would be appropriate for this.
Brother Nick, you're being addressed over in the roll 20.
Mhm.
I need a skill check him out. I think a
I'm assuming
I can,
medicine, like
well,
heal.
no, so this it's actually slightly something a little different. Go ahead and give me a
Oh,
notice check with intelligence this time.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yeah.
Roll 20 is trying to kill me again. These low rolls, man. What? That's exactly the same dice.
What we've
1
done
and 4 both
before,
times.
when you get a tied roll and a reroll, you get a +1. Um,
So that makes it 7.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he notices in the parts of that response that it seems a little bit off. Like it's not quite the typical just um what am I trying to say? It's not like the cookie cutter computer response that you would normally expect.
Yeah, it said leukocytes at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Cade, I guess picking up on that, we'll say kind of look up at the camera and say, well, obviously you would like to chime in, Prudence. What is it?
There's no response.
What aren't you saying?
I'm sorry, Kadir, are you addressing me? Voice comes out of the speaker.
Absolutely. Or are you saying that you are not in any way connected to the medbay scanners?
After a brief pause, my apologies. I was just curious to see what you were all up to. Did I overstep? I just thought I
No,
might
I need
help
to
with the
know.
diagnostics. Oh,
Helping with the
no.
diagnostics is what I need right now.
As far as I can tell, she's perfectly fine. My
Hmm.
commentary about her caffeine was unnecessary.
True, but it is normal med-based scanner protocol.
Oh, good. So I wasn't far off. How could you tell?
That you were helping?
Yes.
I think I caught wind of it when you said leukocytes.
Oh,
Just a hunch, really.
interesting. perhaps the typical response is more user-friendly. I will have to look into that.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Um,
meanwhile in the meeting room,
yeah.
um, Victor and Boris have been conferring quietly, and Ahmed has just kind of been standing awkwardly uh, out of the way of the door, watching Brother Nick, and Brother Nick not having left. He's just content to wait as well. So back in the med bay.
Cade will look at Saoirse and say, "How often do you get these headaches?" And he'll pick over the scanner to do a more in-depth neural scan, just in case. By the way, he just left the door open. He doesn't. At this point, he's like,
yeah, I don't want to barge in. I'll let Ben decide when Nero actually gets there. I was just having fun moving the token.
yeah. So he would have left the door open.
Yeah, Nero is
Like, you're just getting a painkiller.
heading straight to the med bay.
Okay, yeah, she can walk up as Saoirse answers Cade's question about the headaches.
Sorry, I just realized I'd muted myself.
Oh no.
Anyway, so Cade asked, "How often do you get these headaches?" And Saoirse's kind of making a face. She's got like her face in one of her hands, and she's rubbing her eyes, and with the other hand, she just kind of sort of waves it away the question, and just says, you know, I'm either chasing a headache or treating one.
I don't think it's the headache that has me concerned. I think you're acting like today is different somehow.
Well, it's just
Nero
it
has
just
now
won't go
appeared in the
away,
room.
and Saoirse's not gonna notice Nero, since she's got her eyes closed and she's got ringing in her ears and her brain in a fog. Uh, she'll just continue to say, it just this one is persistent. It's just hanging on. Just doesn't seem to want to quit. And it's getting
Is it
hard
maybe?
to put words together.
Is it maybe? I don't know how your powers work or anything like that. Is it maybe something from outside your head interfering?
Um, she's gonna have her classic Saoirse buffering face on while she's trying to make sense of that, but maybe for a heartbeat longer than normal. And then she's gonna close her eyes and look like she's focusing really hard, and she's gonna uh try and make a metapsionics check. See if I can do that. Would I just click metapsionics, Ben, or
Yeah,
okay?
do it with wisdom.
Okay. Oh, I think it did it on its own. And
Oh
she
yeah.
seems to get like unnaturally still. Ben, are you saying something? Because if you are, we can't hear anything.
No, I was typing.
Okay, give us a second, guys.
While y'all are typing in Discord, why don't all the NPCs and Brother Nick have a conversation in Roll20?
They've been doing everything. Yeah.
They've been solving
Let me
all the
just
problems.
let me quickly type 4 different parts of a 5-part conversation while I also hold on the narration part of the
That
rest of
was such a troll suggestion.
the.
Um,
Oh man.
so Saoirse is gonna look kind of stunned, and she'll look up at Cade and just nod her head.
Does Cade feel any sort of connection with Tom at this moment?
Yes, he's still got a connection to Tom.
Cade will think directly at Tom. It seems that this headache that Saoirse has is being worsened by something outside her. Can you help?
He
Saoirse's gonna start to try and stand up.
Cade will
sends
push
back
her
a
down to
very
sitting on the bed.
Tom sends back
She's gonna glare at him.
a concerned mental
He'll
image,
glance.
and the response, "I'll be there right away. See what I can do to help." And everyone else in the room just hears from
It'll.
Tom, "Meeting adjourned. I need to go help. Stay calm, though. I don't think it's urgent." And then he urgently walks out of the room. Okay, back to Kate.
Cade will glance over his shoulder at Nero and say, Nero, can you ensure that we're secure here? Check the scanners, check with Ahmed, make sure there's nothing close to us that we can
Yes.
possibly detect.
Narrow. Does the turret have good visibility, or does she need to go to the cockpit for that?
Um, she could get some information without going to the cockpit. The question is, does she know that?
Without going to the cockpit? Probably
Mhm.
not.
Okay.
Cade might
Yeah.
have to spell it out for her.
like, like you notice she's about to take off at a run.
He'll kind of raise his voice a little bit and go, Nero, probably start in the cockpit.
That's actually that's where she was going, unless there was visibility in the turret. I may have poorly framed that question.
I mean, in the turret, she could get a 360 view of, a good distance around the ship. Not great view on the immediate vicinity of the ship, though.
Okay, but there's cameras and stuff that are nearby. Okay, yeah, she'll she does jog over to the cockpit. She goes as quickly as the opening doors will let her.
All right.
She'll do a little bounce, leap over the table, leaves a footprint on it. For Saoirse to yell at her later.
Happily.
All right. Tom shows up in the room. How's Saoirse handling sitting on the bed?
Now she's being very still, which is, not quite like her, but she is still running her mouth and fussing at Cade.
He's just ignoring it. So he looks at Tom and says, I asked her if it was possible that this was something from outside her making it worse. And she froze and then nodded. So I'm taking that as a yes, something outside is making it worse, and I'm guessing that has to be telepathy, but I don't know. I this is beyond me.
So both of them hear in their heads, Saoirse, may I probe your mind?
Saoirse is kind of stumbling over her words at this point, and she says, I think I know what it is. It's just, I don't know how to explain it.
Is it something I might be able to help with? I don't want
It's,
to intrude into your mind recklessly.
and I'm going to ask you out of character, Ben, would she, with that metapsionics check, be able to tell? Hold on, let me just ask.
Avery, Java has been paged in Roll20.
He's
She'll
coming.
finally just, after an attempt to get things straight, she'll just throw up her hands and say, "Sure, just go ahead. Maybe you can help me explain it. It's just something I've heard before, and just not like this." And
All right. So is she making an effort to open her mind, and make it allow entry?
no, like I think with the fog and the ringing and like the stress of realizing that she does know what's causing it and trying to explain it, that she'd probably be more in a state of elevated stress, I think.
Okay. So Tom Tom says again to both of the ones here in the medical room, um, I'm going to dig a little deeper. I'm going to need you to relax. This will be much easier if I can do it unopposed. And after a few moments, he'll reiterate to her, you remember how to relax your mental barriers, don't you?
She looks a little like deer in the headlights look for a second, and after a couple moments of like focusing on his face, she seems to like start taking deep breaths and like trying to actively calm herself down, but it she's also like white knuckling the edge of the bed, so she's trying, but it might not be going as well as as he would hope.
Okay, got you. Let me see something here then.
I just think after knocking back 2 cups of Cade's coffee.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Blah blah blah. Let me just check something quickly here before I say this. Okay. So she's going to sense coming from Tom a suppress cognition. Give me a mental save.
All right. Fun times on the prudence.
Yeah.
You said a mental save, right?
Yes, a mental saving throw. Okay.
Is that good or bad in this situation?
It's probably bad.
That's what I'm guessing.
Man, I just realized you almost can't fail to resist
Yes.
telepathic stuff because of your metapsionics and your high level. It's crazy.
Yep.
Um,
I'm just gonna say if he's attempting it, and she's still trying to calm, like she's just gonna feel like the reflex of her metapsionics just kick in and just the barrier springs back up before she can really stop it.
yeah. Tom will let out kind of a rasping sigh and what they can both interpret at the moment as an irritated clacking of his mandibles. Uh, this really is not going to go easily, is it? Um,
She has the decency to at least look a little bit embarrassed.
and he's going to attempt. He's just going to go for a higher level telepathic contact. So if she's still having difficulty bringing her mental barriers down, she will make yet another mental saving throw. Meanwhile, in the cockpit, Java and Nero are quickly checking all the proximity cameras around the ship and sensors. You can even everything's clear at the moment, and checking back, rewinding a bit maybe. You can see there's a little bit of movement off, a little bit of a distance towards the Chikari part of the area earlier, but nothing came up to the ship.
Nero wants to zoom in on that.
Okay. Looks like it was a handful of the Chikari worker drones uh, scuttling across the fungus, kind of perpendicular to a path towards the ship. So
Hmm.
just across the distance there. All right. Tom thinks to both Kate and Saoirse. I'm sorry, there's not anything I'll be able to do in your state. You don't seem to be overly concerned by what you've realized, so is there anything you can do that would help you that we
It's
can help with?
I think I need to go outside the ship and follow what I'm hearing. It's
Very well,
every
suit up.
now and then I hear what I kind of call an echo of something that's happened psionically, and I've just never heard it this strong before.
Then perhaps
Do
we
you
should
think
ready
it's
the crew.
is it possible that it is this Bowen woman?
Saoirse
You
looks
know, the one.
concerned at that. I, I don't think I'm picking up a, a presence. I think it's more something that's been, or someone. Let's just suit up.
Okay. Cade will message the entire team saying, suit up. Sounds like we have an expedition.
Okay.
And we all suited up.
Yes,
Yep,
everybody.
exactly that
Up
fast.
quickly. Boris also goes ahead and suits up and is waiting along with everyone else.
Does he steal the suit from Bob?
I guess he would have to, wouldn't
No.
Actually, he can
Mhm.
he can wear Narrows.
he?
Narrow's not going to go out, or Narrow's going to take anti-rads.
Narrows taking anti-rads again.
It would take him so
Alright.
long to unsuit Bob anyway.
I was gonna say then, as everyone is coming back and gathering in the cargo hold, the first thing Java would see is as Victor is, still suiting up in Narrow's suit, is Victor eviscerating Bob,
Oh no.
pulling stuff,
Legit
pulling his guts
terminology.
out. How does this make him feel?
Oh no.
Falls to his knees.
Oh my stars.
Justice for Bob.
Then it proceeds to probably pick up Bob's innards and stuff them into his own suit as much he can.
Rude.
Oh no.
We're going to hear him crunching, like, with every step.
Uh-huh.
every
It's like when
every time he
somebody
turns or stretches, little crinkling in his suit.
it'll be like somebody trying to eat chips on Discord.
Oh my gosh.
You just see him like shuffling through the like guts of Bob like, do I need this? We need this. And he'll probably sit there continuing to try and figure out how to optimally pack his suit until someone says it's time to go.
Victor gives him a slightly odd look, but just shakes his head and then finishes dumping out Bob's innards and then climbs inside Bob.
Wow.
This
Oh,
doesn't
Bob.
seem to bother Java as much as not having all of the stuff that Bob had. He's
Yeah,
not a
he's-
crazy person who has some like emotional attachment to this figment of his imagination. You know, he's very upset about the missing supplies because he had packed a lot of very convenient things inside Bob that made him feel
Yeah,
safe.
there's quite a little pile of stuff in here, stuffed into the corner of this cargo access hall there.
One of Nero's balls falls out.
Aw.
Just rolling across the floor.
Somewhere in the galley, with a recently discovered Twinkie half shoved in her face, Nero looks over at the sound of a bouncing ball.
Oh my god.
The glittering and clamoring of various items Java had found in the armory, clamoring to the floor.
Time slows to a crawl as Nero spots the ball slowly bouncing across the floor and coming to a stop against the wall.
Java is sure to grab the thing that he grabbed from the armory and his telescoping pole and bring those along with
Alrighty.
him.
All right. I believe everyone is good to go. They're all awaiting Saoirse's return or arrival to the group. Is she ready to open the airlock and head outside?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as she moves closer to the airlock, it does get a bit louder. But then opening the airlock, it is suddenly cacophonous. What was a faint ringing before uh, becomes thunderous, and it's actually nearly blinding. She reflexively would throw up a hand to block her eyes from looking out the airlock.
Okay.
And it would probably take her a few seconds to acclimate. And it would it would probably feel something like looking out on a sunny day when it's snowed and you're getting not only the bright sun but also the reflection off the ground. Just that intense brightness. And the, you know, just a mixture of color that's, to her eyes fainter than it typically is, but it's everywhere, all over the ground. It stretches as far as she can see. And it is, excuse me, it's just a seething combination of everything. Even trying to focus in on the closest parts, uh, she gets a mixed jumble that isn't even like the times that she's sensed it this way before. It's just basically gibberish in terms of what she can usually decipher using those senses.
In the past, has she been able to interact with the different echoes or strands, or are they mostly immaterial?
She really hasn't had much practice with the echoes. Um, she has she has a couple times she's been able to use her mind tracing to follow and get a faint view of what she would have gotten if she'd caught it at its initial use.
Right.
So it, a couple times she's seen an echo, though it's been, though faint and a little bit distorted, she's been able to tell uh, with a little focus what sort of power specifically had been used, just like with her typical metasonic senses.
So,
So this is
and
clearly
she's
not like a any sort of typical use of psionic abilities that she's seen before. The scale alone is just, ludicrously different.
She's going to try forcing herself to do some deep breathing and look down just at what's closest to her near her feet and near the ship. And she's going to crouch down and see if she can focus on like any one strand over the other.
Okay. Yeah, so this will take her a minute or two, but she can hunker down and focus on that. How's everyone else doing? Just watching this unfold.
Kate will offer a steadying hand while she's figuring all that out.
I mean, I gotta ask, like, to us, what would this like really look like beyond just like would we
Oh,
see the strand? I don't really know
good
what a strand
question.
is.
Probably look like Saoirse having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, so to the rest of you, I mean, the airlock opens and you see what you expected. You see the Aruzkor Kupietsen landscape. It's a sunny morning, but you would see Saoirse's visceral reaction to the airlock opening, like she's just been blinded, and then her kind of like trying to adjust and look out and make out something out there. But yeah, you see nothing that would warrant that kind of reaction.
Did we have a ship locker on the ship?
Yes, you do.
Okay, can I have grabbed some binoculars from them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could have gotten them from the pile that came out of Bob.
Nero still wants nothing to do with Bob.
So she's peering off in the distance, trying to see what's up.
Yeah, I think since we're kind of on Saoirse tracking speed, Nero will veer off.
Okay. Yeah, she can carefully study in the near distance, the fungus covered plains and occasional trees. Oh, can go ahead and give me a notice check.
I'm assuming I can get the TL4 version of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That actually lets me replace the lowlights I had.
Okay. Yeah, she scours and finds mostly stillness. One point does catch a a small pack of wolves loping across the fungus. But no immediate threat or anything even seeming to take note of your ship.
Okay.
When it comes to all these colors and everything, and it just feels like it's like too much, Saoirse would want to look at herself a little more closely and also look at Tom.
Okay.
And she would want to know, does it look like any of this is connected to or originating from either of them? Or do they just appear to all be waiting in this?
No, in fact, it really seems like it didn't. It's not on the ship at all, and that it isn't on or inside either Saoirse or Tom. And
And the rest of the crew?
yeah, the rest of the crew is also cleared of it. There's none of that. It's all outside, and as she's taking a couple minutes to try to isolate some smaller part of it and tune out the majority of it. She's noticed in the cacophony of just a faint sense that it's lessening very gradually.
Is it lessening all at once, or is it from one area seems to be lessening more, or
Yeah, no, all of it is gradually fading.
Tom's being paged in Roll20?
Oh, thank you. Good catch.
I just figured it was a good idea to ask if Tom sensed anything, because Cade would want to know, because he knows they have different abilities. He just doesn't understand the real difference.
Hmm.
Would there be any sort of like long range sensors on the ship that Java would think to use in this situation?
There are long range sensors on the ship, but he knows they had been avoiding using those uh, for fear of alerting the station in orbit to their location.
Mm.
So, Ben, I'm just gonna ask all the different colors and everything. Are these all colors she's familiar with when it comes to metapsionics and identifying the different psionic practices, or are there any that she's totally unfamiliar with and doesn't understand what they mean?
Good question. She does see all the usual candidates, but as she watches, she notices occasionally some combined colors and some that are unfamiliar.
Saoirse's gonna stand up, and if she sees one of those unfamiliar colors popping up, she's gonna walk really quickly in that direction.
Okay. Um, so she can go after it quickly. It it quickly fades into the rest of the mix as she briefly, you broadens her perception, takes in the rest of it, and is overwhelmed for a moment. She does notice that a couple of those unfamiliar colors mixed in and just swirling, and the whole mess of colors seems to
How
be.
how deep is it? Is it like walking through a fog bank, or is this like knee level, or like
Yeah,
what
it's
is
like
she?
about shin or knee height, and it's like it's all swirling together. It's kind of like mist, but a bit more active,
Okay.
and it all does still feel like echoes. None of it is as crisp as when she observes it happening in the moment.
Can she listen to any of it? Like, does she hear any voices from the telepathy or get any senses of what was done with the telekinesis or biopsionics?
Mm. So she could try using mind tracing on it.
Yeah, she's gonna do that for sure.
Okay. All right. Give me a mental saving throw and a physical saving throw.
Shoot. Okay. Mm.
Oh wow.
Shoot.
Well,
Saw that happening. As soon as he said physical saving throw, I was like,
but does she
not
get
Oh
good.
the
man,
Metasonics bonus?
she does not.
Bummer.
And what are the odds, like, that she would actually end up failing the one that she is actually possible? It's actually possible for her to fail. All right. Um. All right. How to describe this? So,
I messaged you on Discord.
yeah, I see. I'm sorry. It's not my intention. Um.
I said try not to gloat too much.
Yeah. So, Saoirse briefly, she gets a glimpse, just for the barest split second of a rushing change in point of view, um, you know, basically hurtling towards or well, I guess how would this look? um, yeah, gets the sense of just for a split second hurtling towards the surface of the planet, um, but magnified several times, many times over, and
Like she's seen multiple.
sees then just sees black and those watching Cade giving her a steadying hand would just feel her go limp.
He'll catch her. Well, he'll try. Probably be like, Sparrow, help.
Oh yeah,
Like
good
these
Had
things
he
are heavy,
followed
man. He's
her?
already got one on.
Had he
give
followed
Well,
her when
yeah.
she like raced off?
Nero
yeah.
definitely did. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so give me an exert check from Cade
Oh, this is gonna go great.
with strength.
Yeah, this is gonna go amazing.
Nero
Yeah.
is will
Yeah,
help
she's
when he
close
calls.
by.
Yeah.
So he tries to catch her and but he's surprised by her just suddenly falling over and he's he's basically falling over uh just barely slowing her fall when Nero jumps in and grabs both of them,
No, no,
steadies
no,
them.
just Saoirse.
He feels a brief tug on his sleeve and then he's just falling.
No.
It
He
isn't her
tried so
intent.
hard
It isn't her
and
intention
got
to
so
leave him
far.
dumped.
Yeah, he'll probably just hit the ground.
she looks
On
down
his
and
rear.
mutters a quick sorry.
Uh-huh. He'll shake himself off.
Let's see.
Oh my stars. Just catching up on all the out of character memes.
Oh, it's not what I meant to. Well, sorry, I just rolled as you, but just so you know this for the future, you took some system strain.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Ooh. Wow. That is a lot of system strain.
I cannot catch a break.
I know.
When it comes to system strain, we are just good friends, I guess.
So, does anyone? What are you guys gonna do to try to take care of Saoirse here?
Nero will now that she's not falling, will let her down and cue the awe moment. Uh, Basically kneel down and prop Saoirse on her knees.
She gonna carry her.
Oh, she's letting Saoirse lay down for a minute.
Kind of cradling her on her lap,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. So Nero's kneeling. Not kneeling's not the right word. Sitting back on her haunches and has Saoirse's head. Her Saoirse's back on her knees and her head on her thighs.
Okay, yeah. Kind of squatting and supporting her upper body.
I think. Yeah, I'm not describing very well. Nero's knees are on the ground.
Nope.
Oh, okay, I got you.
That makes way more sense. Thank you. I was struggling.
Yeah, the other way of sitting on your haunches.
Okay, so like,
Like doing an Asian squat.
No, I'm still
No,
not.
no.
let's see.
No?
Okay, session chat. Is this what you're talking about, Dex?
Session chat. Yes, it is.
All right. Boom. There we go.
No, now I gotta look at session chat. Yes,
Sorry
thank
for
you.
anyone just listening to this. Only so much we can do. But yeah. So in kind of a kneeling pose with her feet underneath her, a kneeling hip flexor stretch
Oh, okay.
for the yoga minded.
Yeah, that
um,
explains it to me.
but yeah. So Tom and Boris would have come hurrying over to see what happened. Um, you okay? Does anybody have? Does she need a Lazarus patch? What happened?
She just collapsed.
We'll check her pulse.
She's breathing.
The meds the med scanner says that she is fine and healthy, so it's not normal. Maybe it's psychic?
Boris is he's gone down to one knee next to her with a grunt and digs in a pouch, pulls out a little applicator and fits it in the port on her suit and depresses the plunger with a quick hiss. A little bit of lift can't hurt. And he points over at Brother Nick. Come over here. Help Nero get her on the ship. Need to get her to the little med bay.
Kid will glance at Brother Nick and say, I'll run ahead and clean it out. And he'll jog back to the ship and all.
Yeah.
Clean all the crumbs out of the bed. Probably find a small vacuum somewhere to suck it out with.
Oh no. Um. Yeah. So, assuming everyone goes along with Boris suddenly bossing them around,
Yeah,
uh,
Nero helps her
Yeah.
up and puts the other arm around Brother Nick and all that.
and get her into the bed, and after a few minutes, about the time that
Real quick,
Joseph. Oh, go ahead.
before those few minutes, as we are walking along, Nero looks over at Brother Nick. Should we leave this place?
Uh, he'll look at her unsure and say, "Sonic stuff is beyond me, Nero. I don't know if if moving away would make things worse.
That's what I was thinking.
Seems to have connected with something here on the planet. Don't understand why it's only affecting her though, and not Tom or any of the Gakari."
Your pilot is probably outside inspecting the ship too, and the area around it.
Hmm. Okay.
So you ain't leaving. Just saying that.
Is he looking for anything in particular?
No, he's very confused. Just looking for anything particularly
Okay.
amiss that could have caused this disturbance.
Unfortunately for his state of confusion, he finds nothing out of the
Leaving
ordinary
him
whatsoever.
even more confused and more suspicious of the robots in the area around him.
Just, uh, all right. So yeah, just a few minutes later, about the time it would take a dose of lift to kick in, Saoirse stirs and wakes up.
Is she still in her suit? Like, does she still have her helmet on, or?
Probably not. I imagine we would have taken her out of the suit just for comfort.
Yeah, she's laying in the medical bay bed.
And this time it's clean.
No
Nero.
rice
No
cake
rice
crumbs in her
cake
hair?
crumbs.
Man, this is high society living. Um,
Unless Nero has been kicked out, she's squeezed into a corner as small as she can.
so yeah, one
Kid
one
had
thing.
been starting a deeper scan before they ever left the ship. Is that something he can dig into the results of a little bit, just in case?
Yeah, I could do that. Um,
As a player, I don't figure it would be productive, but as a character, he would do that.
yeah, your player instincts were accurate in this case. Um, the computer can't find anything really out of the ordinary with even with the more detailed scan. Cade would know this is not the extent of TL4 neuro neuromapping technology, but good enough that he's as good as he's gonna get for now.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, she's now awake.
yep. She's immediately gonna sit bolt upright and say, ask where Tom is.
He's standing kind of in the doorway, just behind everyone else. But she would hear in her head, "I'm here."
She's gonna like she's her eyes are like super wide and she's gonna be like almost looks like she's flailing, but she's obviously trying to motion for him to come closer.
Okay, yeah, he'll step over next to the bed, reach out and take her hand.
She's gonna jerk him in closer and just like hold the sides of his head. She doesn't really get how telepathy works, but she's just gonna like bonk her head against his and be like, dig in my brain now. Because she is desperate for someone else to see what she just saw.
All right. Uh, all right. So is she? Do you think she's clear-minded enough now to let him in?
This would basically be her opening the door.
Okay. All right then. So she detects his let's see, what is that? Um yeah, he's gonna go with the level 3 telepathic contact. And as he does so, um he asks her telepathically, um, can you give me anything specific I should be looking for?
Um, Sarah's just gonna think back to um right before the airlock opened and where it was like that just ringing in her ears. And then basically she's going to try and walk him through everything she just experienced. When the med bay doors opened and it was like blinding, not the med bay, the airlock doors open and it was blinding and cacophonous and just overwhelming. And then looking out and just seeing this sea of colors. And she's going to explain, that this color is this psionic, you know, discipline and this is that one. And just goes through all of it. And then she's going to point out the colors and the combinations that she's never seen before. Um, and then because she's hoping he's seeing this through her point of view.
Yeah,
Um,
so the level 2 telepathic contact abilities would let him pick up her current thoughts. Um, and so yeah, if she's thinking, she's kind of trying to actively think through her perceptions and remember what she saw and had thought and then is thinking kind of narration over it even.
yeah.
And she can definitely do that sort of thing. Um, and then with the level 3, he would clarify at some point once she eventually gets through all of it, uh, up to the point where she did her mind tracing. he would say, "Ah, so you want me to take a good look at what you saw in your mind tracing?"
She's gonna kind of pause. And she'll just say, "I want you to see all of it. That I've never seen anything like this. I don't know if anybody's ever seen anything like this."
I certainly have not, and he has seen all of this now. Um, so that this will be difficult to process, uh, but I see it. It's
All right,
stunning.
now watch what happens right here. And this is she's gonna focus, kind of rewind a bit back to where she was trying to use mind tracing. LOL, thanks, Avery.
Eh,
Sure.
Okay, so
exactly.
sorry. So you're yeah. So walking through that, and he'll kind of start back from her when they go through the pretty uh shocking transition and intense, um, overwhelming nature of what was seen. Although Saoirse can tell through her memory, even what she's remembering is very much toned down from what she saw and experienced in the moment. It's like her mind didn't fully process and keep everything that she was seeing. Um, get Yeah, that's actually pretty trippy. That's not a bad representation.
Yeah, it's
Um,
very trippy.
Yeah, I had to actually pull up a browser over top of it. It's too trippy for me as well.
Oh, the last one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now you're good.
Doesn't it stop flickering when you tab out of Discord?
I
uh,
don't know.
Oh, okay.
if you don't have Discord in focus, then yeah.
I have it full screen, actually.
Oh,
So it's one or the other right now.
So yeah, bottom line, Tom has now seen everything that Saoirse saw, although filtered through the lens of her mind, which seems to have pulled more pulled far above its weight in sparing her some of the details.
Wait, so does that mean Tom saw more or less? I'm confused now.
He
His
saw
brother Nick. Sorry.
technically less than what she saw, but he got all the important bits. Just he didn't get the mind overloading dose that she got.
Got it.
Um, okay. Mhm. So now that Saoirse and Tom are done, or was there something else Saoirse wanted Tom to see, or anything actually you wanted to tell him specifically before? moving on.
she's gonna tell him that she wants him to show the crew when they get a chance later.
He says, "I can do it now."
So maybe
Oh,
we
of
could
course I
at
would
least
warn
let them sit down.
you. What do you take me for? Some sort of barbarian?
Well, you have eaten my arm before. She'll give him a look
He clacks
with a
his
bit of a
mandibles at
wink.
her. That's different.
Ah, yes. Consensual barbarianism. Very different. She'll she'll give him a wink again.
He conveys across the link that he's getting the that he appreciates the humor, and he'll respond, "Barbarism is all about intent."
Can you describe the like I guess the things coming at the planet scene again?
When I had someone else's point of view or
Yeah,
something else's.
yeah, the mind tracing part, so that we can have that
Yeah,
image
like
fresh, Ben.
Yeah.
yeah, like is that a impression of something's coming?
Well,
So Tom would, you know, Tom would have gathered everyone, sent a telepathic message to everyone that they need to. The captain would has something that she'd like them to see, and Tom will be delivering it direct to their minds. So they probably need to sit down and collect themselves. Um, and he would he would convey kind of the with a little bit of preamble that they're about to see uh, Saoirse's point of view of what was outside the ship when she left, and then her
If he could
perspective.
explain, sorry. Also,
Yeah,
if
the
he could
mind tracing.
explain, yeah, the metapsionics and the mind tracing.
Yeah, he would explain to everyone that she is able to trace the use of psionic powers back to their user and see from their point of view. It's typically only done um, in real time, but she evidently has some unusual ability he had not read about that has gives her some ability to look back in time.
She's gonna pointedly avoid eye contact with anyone when he's explaining that she's a unicorn. Um, because she doesn't like to think about that bit too much.
So yeah, they will now all get a first person view from Saoirse's perspective of being completely blinded as well as nearly deafened by the airlock opening, the slow acclimation to that, and then just the seething, almost like a low mist across the landscape of this mess of color, and the perception of it slowly fading, and uh, yeah, the mind tracing. you get just a very brief moment, and it seems like Tom has tried to slow it down a little bit for you so you can take it in a little more, of a glimpse of just, uh, a point of view just hurtling from high above the surface straight at the planet.
No, this is psionic energy that was just thrown at the planet.
No, I mean, actually, Saoirse wouldn't know, but her impression had been that she was seeing through somebody's point of view.
And did Tom explain to us that that Saoirse is basically tracing something that recently happened?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Something did this to you.
What? No, no, I don't think I was the intended target at all.
They're saying it only is hurting your head because you can see it. Like what happened
It
to
was
someone else.
Saoirse's gonna try her best to explain it as unconcerningly as she can. But
Mhm.
basically, it it would be if you had earplugs in your ears and you couldn't hear anything and your eyes were closed, and then you hear just a bit of a murmur through your earplugs and you take them out and you realize you're in a crowd or at a concert or just somewhere really busy where everyone's talking. It's that the sheer amount of it that I was hearing, my brain was struggling to process it.
The coffee didn't help. Slight grin.
Listen, the coffee helps a different kind of headache.
What can you do now? What can we do now?
There's something about this planet, and I mean, I haven't always had this ability, but this is this is groundbreaking. I don't know how much longer we can stay on this planet, but we're coming back at some point.
Maybe we should stop at the tower once more before we leave.
Saoirse doesn't look very happy about that. Um,
The drone knows things.
yeah, the drone doesn't seem very happy about psionic things, period. It said psionics are dangerous.
Then it should know about whatever this is.
But what if this is why it doesn't like psionics? Whatever this is.
Wow. Silence.
Oh, sorry. Did somebody direct a question at me?
No, no. Just
Okay.
there was yeah. I think the silence was in character for Nero.
Java wandered off in the midst of this conversation, returning to the cockpit, looking at those cameras and searching for specific recordings.
Saoirse also would have explained to the group that usually she can only see things that have happened within an hour, as far as she can tell, unless this is a new version of that. Unless her power has changed in some way.
Tom sends
There's
a
a
telepathic thought to everyone. Java, are you paying attention?
Yeah. Didn't we all watch the same thought, right? Like, we
Yes,
should
I was.
definitely check the cameras. You guys noticed the ship, right?
But we already looked back.
Yeah. So you all saw the ship.
Saoirse actually would approve of Java looking back through the videos.
And Nero.
Well,
so
just now. Did Nero join him to look back through the videos?
they had done it earlier.
Yeah.
And as he's
Oh, I
looking
thought
through
he
them,
was leaving to go do it again.
he headed towards the cockpit. He could be talking to people over comms or something. But yeah, he's scanning through video recording again. Camera logs. Still finds nothing. Even looking at the skyward oriented ones.
I guess Cade would also ask, so how long ago was that? You said you can only usually see an hour in the past? But by what you said, that's not within an hour?
Well,
Not that I understand any of this.
I usually can only see echoes within an hour of when they happen. But I don't know how this could have happened, or well, I'm struggling to figure out exactly what happened.
Does Java see any cameras under the ship, Ben?
Yeah, and he can check those again. He and Nero had looked at those before and sees nothing out of the ordinary on those either.
At that point, then he probably comes back and says something to the effect of like, I was pretty sure that since those lights weren't under the ship, that something happened above the ship, but there's nothing on the cameras.
Oh, did I miss that part of the description? The lights and the fog and all that was not under the ship?
So I had mentioned that to Saoirse, to Danielle, about Saoirse's point of view a bit ago, and it was just the barest kind of like peripheral sort of thing
Good catch,
once
Avery.
she was out of the ship. But yeah, Java was paying extra close attention.
And y'all thought he wasn't paying attention.
There was one thing he was watching the whole time. It was the ship. All right, well, we're up against our time.
Could the sun be a psionic?
I have had that thought,
Is that
but
in
I have
character?
no idea how we could figure that out. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, is that in character?
I really think that Java would be suspicious that the sun has space powers.
I think it's better that he say it in character, honestly.
I
Yeah.
think he does. Like, I don't know that he would use the word psionic, but he would make some implication that the sun has space powers.
Like the thing that traveled and came down to the planet. Did it come from the direction of the sun?
Did.
Did?
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, he would come to that assumption based on the fact that he very clearly noticed that nothing happened under the ship. And he can't see anything besides the sun. Very astute
There
observation.
a possibility that it came from the space station? Like, if it's orbiting around this planet, it could have come from the space station without us being able to see it, right?
That is true. Well,
I think Java would ask Tom if he can talk to the sun.
Oh my word.
That's awesome.
Saoirse would be regretting sharing this information with everybody only slightly.
Tom would tell everyone telepathically, "No, I cannot talk with the sun."
Did you try?
He clacks his mandibles once at Java. "No, I did not try."
Could you try?
Tom stalks out towards the airlock. Looks back inside to see that someone is watching. Looks very pointedly up into the sky.
Oh my stars. The sass.
Hands on hips. Leans toward it a little bit. And then comes back in.
Before
While
he can say anything, Java, what did it say?
Tom just slowly shakes his head. And gives a mental sigh. It didn't say anything. And I didn't manage to make any contact with it. Does that satisfy you?
Do you think you're too far away? No, that's crazy. Never mind. It's the sun.
Visibly steeling himself, Tom replies, and this is again to everyone, so everyone's kind of getting this part of the conversation. No, I generally can make telepathic contact with anyone that I can see. Seems to have decided to at least take the comments partially seriously.
Huh. This episode definitely took a weird turn.
Yeah, it did.
I want one real quick thing before we fade off. Nero's
Um,
Nero has had stepped outside to make more room for Tom when he was bumping foreheads with Saoirse. Um, she looks past the door at Saoirse. So, what do we do? Do we go to the tower? Do we leave here? And then she suddenly has a moment. Do you think it affected the queen or the colony?
Saoirse shakes her head. I don't think. I mean, unless any of them have metapsionics, then she looks thoughtful. I guess we need to check on the colony and Cora and the Queen and check on our new robot friends, drones and robot ninjas alike.
Okay.
We don't need to tell them the details, but we should tell them we witnessed some kind of event, a solar flare, and wanted to make sure everyone was okay. I'm not sure it was a solar flare, but we can call it that for now. As as Jova pointed out, it did come from the direction of the sun, though I'm not sure it's from the sun or something else.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to have in session what our plans are for next session so that Ben will give us a week off from our homework.
Perfect. It's all coming together.
That's cute.
Ben's like, that's cute that you think I'm going to give you a break.
We told you what we're doing next session.
That's yeah. You told me exactly. You're doing everything next session.
Yep.
These are everyone that you've met on the planet. You're also traveling to the sun, saying hi to it, going to Dubuque, looking up some.
Saoirse thinks that they could split up, but that would also be more work for you. So
I mean, I will say I'm generally open to handling stuff, a little bit more out of character. If you guys want to try to move a little more quickly next session, it's always up to you guys.
I wouldn't mind having Nero and maybe somebody else stop at the tower while others, well, Cade and others go to the city. You guys are interested in this terrible idea of splitting the party.
I got a terrible idea splitting the party. Oh no.
Hey, as a GM, I love it. It's very realistic.
Yeah, it is realistic.
It's only D&D that has taught us that
Well, and horror
companions
movies.
yeah, and horror movies that the companions always travel in packs of 5 or 6 and never go their divergent ways.
No.
I need to buy some apples at the market. We'll all come with you. Why? There might be a rogue. Oh man.
That might be where the assassins attack.
Yep.
And knowing enough DMs and how many different types there are out there are definitely DMs who would go, "Oh, you're going to buy apples alone, you say?
Which
Perfect."
market are you going to? Oh.
Yep.
So
Are you wearing your armor? How many weapons are you taking? Interesting. It takes how
sorry,
many?
what was your passive perception again?
It takes 10 rounds to get into your medium armor that you're not wearing? Oh, what a shame if someone attacked you at this one time you aren't wearing your armor. Yeah, I know all the tricks. Well, anywho, I'm babbling and letting our time slip away from us. Everyone take a point of XP.
Yay!
Woo!
I got a point of XP for that mind-bending, vomit-worthy experience. Ethan, are you at 133?
Ding.
134.
Thanks.
It's
All right,
been a
looks
long
like
time since I leveled up. How many skill points is it for level 8?
I think you get. I don't remember if you get 3 or 4 per level. Are you partial?
Yeah, I think it's 4, right?
Yeah, so it's 4.
Okay.
And
I'm stockpiling quite a few of them because we need to work something out, Ben.
oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Partial?
He's partial expert, partial warrior.
Oh, okay. I was like, are we about to find out Java's partial psionic? What?
Oh, whoopsie. Oh, and he just so happens to have this discipline that nobody's ever heard of before. What?
No, I just meant like I was gonna laugh if it like once he gets his memories back, he's like, oh, by the way, I can do this and makes a hamster wheel.
I can't believe you already told her about that, Ben. I told you that in confidence.
What kind of DM are you?
Sorry, guys. Slipping. It's almost midnight.
I thought telling
Mm.
somebody something in confidence just means that you knew what you're saying when you told them.
No, see, it means that you can only tell 1 or 2 other friends as long as you tell them that they're not allowed to tell anybody else either.
Oh, right. There, you tell them in confidence, so they can only tell 1 or 2 other friends in
Mhm.
confidence.
In confidence.
Well, a secret's something you only tell one person at a time.
Oh, so that's actually even tighter than in confidence.
Oh my.
1 person at a time.
Oh, I get it.
I'd never heard that before. That's great.
It's an old one.
All right, we need to do favorites before it gets too much later.
True. Faves. Robert
My
is first.
fave. Ready?
I'm ready.
Well, did you ask the sun? Yep.
That was
Take it away,
fantastic.
Java.
That's a that's a good one. Avery, what about you?
Mm, I mean, tough. Can we skip me? I need a minute.
That's all. It's always loud. Let's see. For mine, um, I think I'll uh, I'll give my first one to Danielle's role playing of the headache in quotes, um, because she she did that well. I was expecting to have to, I guess, to need to be a little more directly involved in telling her kind of what she was experiencing or feeling, but she kind of took it and ran with it and handled it very well.
Woot.
Um,
I have extensive experience.
Yeah. It's like you've done some very in-depth, what is it?
Method
Character
acting.
study? Yeah, method acting. Or someone having a headache. Uh, I think I'll just say mind tracing.
Bruh. That was the most excited / disappointed I have been in a long time. The fact that I got that 20v5 for the mental save, and then the 3v5 for the physical, I was like, "Dadgummit." I was literally messaging Ben like, "Please just let me see something before she passes out."
Yeah. I was hoping she would fail one of them, but I honestly did not expect her to fail either of them. So, um, was, that was that just played out really nicely. Let's see, Danielle, your fave.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
I'll come back to mine.
Okay.
It's the giddy excitement of seeing Cade refill Saoirse's coffee cup.
The I ship it moment. Yes, of course it was.
Yes, it's gotta,
LOL.
gotta be that.
Also,
Or
I thought it was hilarious when you guys were commenting in the Discord about like, "Oh, Saoirse wants to marry in," because she was literally in her head thinking, maybe Nero could elope with Kareem," and the thought did not even cross her mind or my mind about the implications they would have about Cade and Saoirse.
oh, I was already like playing out in my head, like how could we take advantage of this headache situation and further lean into this whole uncomfortable conversation from the last session. And I might have sent some messages to Dex.
Yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious. Good teamwork, guys.
Then it turned very dark and colorful. My backup favorite was Bob getting eviscerated,
Being eviscerated.
dragging him into the conference room, getting snacks from him. I love Bob. He's a great part-time character, longtime friend.
I remember, did Bob stand for something, or
No, it was just
was it just?
Bob.
Just his name.
Oh, okay. So what?
Yeah, Bob the suit.
Okay, the all caps was not necessarily.
Bob is a principled individual who will not.
Sort of.
Beautiful
Yeah.
thing about Bob is, you can have him whenever you need him.
He's reliable.
He's always there for you.
And if he talks to you, you want to get yourself checked.
He's always got your back.
Next week,
Oh.
We
try
could just
talking
say
to
it
Bob.
stands for bag of bites.
Don't do this.
No backronyms here.
No,
I like bag of bites.
it's nonsensical.
It
Capital won't
was.
stand for it. All right, let's see. So now Dex.
Yeah, I've got two. One is self-congratulatory. I am pleased as punch that that silly little set of circles that I drew is being dragged around as Bob. My real fave is Ben kind of co-opting the session with drama. Whatever we had planned to do this session, put that aside. The GM made plans.
Yep.
I thought that was it added some flavor and excitement. Spice and excitement, not flavor. Spice and excitement.
I'm glad. Let's see. That's gonna bother.
Yeah.
Spicy is a good way to put it. I was honestly I was super excited about getting some direction, or I guess I'm okay with things happening. I think it helps to break up some of the monotony. So sometimes I think, especially if we as players have too much time to overthink things, things can kind of grind away really slowly. And that was a lot of excitement that we weren't expecting.
Mhm.
So I really enjoyed it.
Good.
I will
I
not
enjoyed it
complain
too.
about that derailment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny because I will often have notes or thoughts about what's going on and what's going to happen at various times. And it's always fun to kind of adapt those on the fly sometimes, uh, as the moment might require. That flexibility is draining sometimes, but you guys made an enjoyable session of it. And seeing where
Um,
your minds go is always just loads of fun.
oh man. I just love our party's entire dynamic. So great. Um, and I love that we are all comfortable enough with our slipping into character that we don't really have to take a long time most times to know how our character would react or what they would do. So, my favorite for the session would be getting to role play Saoirse through what would feel like a psionic breakthrough for her.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
I feel like she was nerding out hardcore about it before um any thoughts about the implications of what it could mean for the players in the rapidly evolving um socio-political landscape of Aruzkor Kupiets. But then she went, "Oh wait, yeah, that might have something to do with it, or that might make things more difficult."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you all handled. I think it was really cool to see how everyone handled Saoirse not acting like herself, but still, something was wrong, but still trusting her enough to say, "Yeah, let's all suit up and go outside."
Mhm.
Um, and then Saoirse acting kind of crazy, and everyone being like, "Okay, well, we'll still just stay close." And also Nero pointedly grabbing Saoirse and not Cade. LOL.
Yeah.
The shade was palpable,
Oh yeah.
which is hilarious because if she and Java think there's something going on between Cade and Saoirse. It almost feels like when your sister doesn't like your boyfriend.
Oh,
I
ouch.
I don't approve of this.
But Java approves wholeheartedly. That's canon.
Waiting to see where Nero stands on it.
Yeah.
Not trying to put words in Nero's mouth. I just thought it was funny.
It is. It is.
Let's see. Should probably go ahead and get to Ethan. His fave.
Justice for Bob.
Or Bob. Didn't deserve it. Danielle, back to you.
I thought she just gave you the faves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, I must have just spaced. I guess.
I'm not repeating it. Just put role play.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I may have just. I think I just took that as general conversation.
Nope.
My bad.
Might have to rewind the stream to catch it.
Yeah, I can always fix it in the Discord chat later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think with that, we should probably go ahead and close the stream and call it a night before I fall asleep at my desk.
All
Good
right.
idea.
And end it here.